Hi there everybody, it's Verity here from inkybutterfly.wordpress.com and thank you for joining me today for another card making video. And today we are going to use this stamp set called Gorgeous Posies. Now this is a little hidden gem in the catalogue. You'll find it on page 8 of the annual catalogue. And it's kind of hidden at the bottom of a page and it coordinates with a project kit. Excuse me. And you can add the stamp set to that kit to then stamp the sentiments, but I think it's a really lovely set all by itself. We've got some really great sentiments and this just gorgeous flower, and it is a distinctive stamp, so you do get this sort of textured look to the images as you stamp them. So that's what we're using today, and this is the sample card that I've done. This features Blushing Bride ink. That is one of the recommended colours for use with this particular project kit, and a serving suggestion, and we've got a bit of Blackberry Bliss on here as well. But we're going to change it up a bit, and we're going to bring in, instead, we're going to switch it out for Highland Heather, and we're going to stamp the flowers with Highland Heather, sentiment with Gorgeous Grape. Again, these two colours are recommended add-ons to the project kit, and I've brought in the same soft seafoam green to do the foliage. Nice soft palette. So the first thing we're going to do is stamp our flowers with our Highland Heather ink. I should just say I'm using Whisper White card base in the usual dimensions. My Highland Heather cardstock measures 3 7/8 by 5 5/8, and my stamping layer is 3.5 by 5 1/4. So that's what we're aiming for at the moment. Put the Highland Heather to one side for the moment, and we will stamp our flowers. So just like on the sample, we're just going to do a couple of these flowers. I'm just light tapping the stamp over the ink pad, keeping it flat, and we're going to place one up here, firm and even pressure, and lift off. I'm going to rotate my stamp round, and again some light tapping on that ink pad, and that one's going to go somewhere there. Okay, just nice two images. I'm going to wipe that off on my stamp chamois, which is just off to my left. Brilliant little gizmo for getting your stamps nice and clean after you've used them. So we're done with that one. Okay, so that's our Highland Heather. I'm going to switch to Gorgeous Grape, and I'm just going to take this little speckled image just to add that into the centre of those flowers. Again, rotate it round so it looks different. Flowers in nature wouldn't mirror each other in that way. And while the Gorgeous Grape is out, I'm just going to grab my scrap of Whisper White and stamp my Get Well Soon sentiment. Oh, that one didn't quite work out so well. I didn't do enough light tapping. It's always user error. The products themselves are fantastic, so that was my fault for not inking it up very well. That's fine. We can restamp it. Okay, so that's Gorgeous Grape done, and that's ready to do our next step with in a moment. Just going to grab a piece of scrap, which I should have had to hand, only because I want to stamp the leaves off the edge of the paper. So I'm just going to use this and take the more solid image there, bring in our soft sea foam, and we're just going to add those leaves around and about the place. To add some interest to the card. Doesn't matter if they overlap at all. Just going for adding some depth to this, and basically filling up the space. That's essentially what we're doing. Just put a little peek of something out of there as well. Okay, so that's how we're doing that. Again, just like to clean off my stamps as I go. And then we'll take this image here using the same ink pad, and that will add the veins into the leaves. They kind of line up, and it doesn't actually matter if they don't quite, but you kind of, it's a similar shape to the original image, so just position it roughly in the same orientation, and that should be good to go, and you get a really lovely effect. Excuse me. Okay, done with our ink now, and that's the image we have got. So we can now layer this onto our Highland Heather cardstock, and we're going to use Stampin' Seal for that. Just a few lines of that tape along the length of that is more than sufficient to secure that in place. Okay, and we can adhere this to our card base. Okay. Make sure your borders are nice and even. So my general rule is that I line up this edge here. So I'm left-handed, so I'm holding it steady in my left hand, making sure that these three edges look even, and then by default the fourth one should be just fine and dandy. Okay, you've just got a moment or two before you press it down to lift it up. Real good crease on your the spine there will ensure that your tent fold cards stand up beautifully, so there's no, that it doesn't do the splits on you. Okay, and it lies lovely and flat like that. Okay, so our sentiment was just here, which we are going to cut with our 2-inch circle punch. Just get that lined up in the centre. Crunch that out. Brilliant. Punches are just superb pieces of kit. And then we're going to also punch out some vellum. Okay, so vellum is a super semi-transparent material, but cuts really easily with a trimmer, punches, dies, etc. You can just treat it like any other paper. Just pop that away. Oops. Right, we can layer these together now. Again, we can just use some seal for that. Make a nice even border around there, and it gives this lovely halo around the sentiment image there. And it also, as you can see, it doesn't totally fog out the background. You can still see a little bit through, but just softens it slightly. Okay, and I like that, just peeking out over the edge there, just breaking up that border, drawing your eye into there. We are going to put that up onto dimensionals though, so we'll take 3 of these guys and stick those onto the back. And then what we also need to do is add on our sample card. I've brought in my most favourite ribbon in the world, which is this polka dot Tulle, and I ran out, and I couldn't believe I'd run out. I had so much of this stuff because I just think it's just adorable, really. Just love it. So we're going to cut a length of that, like so. And then in half again, and we're going to do like a double bow thing. Not a bow, what's it called? A knot. Just like that. I'm not going to tie it too, not going to pull it too tight. I want a nice looking knot on there. Okay. And then my most favourite thing in the world for sticking down ribbon are glue dots. Sorry, just faffing about with that. Let's play that out a bit. And again, because it's there but not there, because it's very you can see through it to a degree. Just adds texture without necessarily spoiling the design. So glue dot is a pressure adhesive. You just press it onto the back of those, on the knots of your bows, and then press it onto your project. And they ain't going anywhere. They're really strong. They may be mini, but they're super strong. So I think I might just pop that a little lower than I was intending, so that's fine. Like that. And then this guy's going to tuck in like so. And I think that's okay. I don't think we need to give it a haircut. We're going to leave it like that, but that's up to you. If you want to cut it down a little more, then do so. But I think that just adds a little bit of texture without being too fussy. And then the final touch will be some pearls. On the original sample, I've left them white. Okay, but we can also colour these quite easily with our Stampin' Blends markers. So I can bring out the Highland Heather, Dark Highland Heather Stampin' Blends marker, and you can just run the nib over those pearls, and you instantly have matching embellishments. Okay. You can also do the same thing with rhinestones. Just going to use this poke tool to just pick up those little embellishments, like so. Oops. And that looks really, really lovely. Okay, so here's the original card there, side by side. As you can see, very similar layouts, just a few tweaks here and there with the colours, colouring the pearls, etc. But yeah, you can match that to suit any audience. Just tie in your colours. Could be nice as a wedding card, of course, if you altered that sentiment and found something else to use. Yeah, okie dokie. I hope you've enjoyed that little video, and give it a go yourself. All the details of the products I've used today, if you click down below, all the quick links to the stamp set are going to be in there. And if you have liked this video, please give me some thumbs ups and some subscribes. Okay, thanks everybody, take care, see you again soon. Okay, bye.